Liam Neeson is pissed off because he doesn't have a face anymore. He's wreaking vengeance on the goons that destroyed his world by going full-blown Eric Draven on their asses. Let's go back to pre-Spider-Man Sam Raimi with Darkman. Hello there, you loose units, and welcome back to another episode of Spicy Boy Reviews. I'm, of course, your host, Andrew Isles. Well, seems that Sam Raimi has a new superhero film coming out, and Liam Neeson has his 8,000th action revenge film, so let's put the two together and have a look down memory lane at their collaboration with Darkman. This film was released in 1990, coming off a superhero boom, if you will. There was heaps of films around about that time. You know, had Batman 89, Dick Tracy, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and The Rocketeer, just to name a few. Sam Raimi is obviously a massive fan of comic books. There's no denying that. Even going back to his first couple of films, he loves the wackiness and stuff, but I don't know if studios wanted to hire him for a big franchise back in the day because he wasn't the obvious choice. Yet. So, of course, he created his own character here in Darkman. See, Hollywood, it can be done. You don't need to get a pre-existing character, do a bait and switch, and chuck your bloody identity politics and propaganda down people's throat and fuck up a bloody origin of a normal character. You just create one yourself and it can work perfectly. The film is based around Dr. Qui-Gon Jinn, and he's working on some research of 3D printing synthetic skin for burn victims and people who have been disfigured in accidents. His girlfriend here is played by a very young Frances McDormand before she was cast in every Coen film of all time. And here she's playing an attorney working for a property firm, and her boss, who is obviously a scumbag and played devilishly awesome in comic book style by the awesome Aussie actor Colin Friels. All of a sudden, goons break into Liam Neeson's lab and attempt to assassinate him because he has his hands on some incriminating paperwork. A little bit of history repeating. Turns out that this gang of goons is led by an assassin called Robert Durant, and he's hungry like the wolf, going around assassinating people who own waterfront properties. You see, it's all got to do with property and real estate and developments and all that sort of stuff. See, a film actually using real-life bad guys as the antagonist here. You know, real estate agents. So they blow up Liam Neeson's lab with him inside, which turns him into Michael Jackson post the 1984 Pepsi commercial. He is disfigured after the accident, of course. He dusts himself off, tries to salvage whatever equipment he can from the explosion, and goes to a dilapidated warehouse to continue his research, as well as planning his revenge. Wait a minute. Deformed scientist hell-bent on completing his work in a dilapidated warehouse? Using questionable methods of madness? This seems familiar. This is where Liam Neeson goes full-blown vigilante here. The first of many films, obviously. He uses his technology of 3D printing synthetic skin to go under disguise, as posing as the goons, inserting himself into situations and trying to frame them so they kill each other one by one. So, Punisher, Darkman did it first. However, his fake disguise and fake synthetic skin can only last 99 minutes before it melts away. It can last longer, but only in the dark, hence Darkman. Weaknesses! Seems like Darkman's no bloody Mary Sue. The Darkman character is obviously inspired by pulp comic book characters, you know, like The Shadow, Dick Tracy, and Phantom of the Opera. The film looks like a bloody comic book come to life. It's great. That seemed like it happened a lot in the 90s. A lot of awesome stylistic choices. See, comic book movies now are kind of, I hate to say it, but they all look kind of the same now, a bit bland. Besides, like, Zack Snyder, who's making his own stylistic choices. Back in the 90s, they embraced the camp, and it was a little bit silly, and it was totally cool. It's also shot on film as well, which always looks amazing. And after watching this film, there's no wonder he got Spider-Man after this. There's even a little creation montage where Darkman is creating his research and his 3D skin and stuff like that. It was very reminiscent of the 2002 Peter Parker montage in Spider-Man. The DOP work is chef's kiss. It's beautiful. It's got that beautiful sort of sun-kissed look, clever lighting, smoke machines used awesomely. Classic comedy, very cheesy. There is some shonky green screen effects though, but it just adds to its charm. And so many Dutch angles that will make 1960s Batman blush. The makeup effects are awesome as well, all practical of course. The pace is good as well. The film doesn't stuff around, okay? It gives you the information that you need and then briskly moves along. There is no fat on this movie. Of course, the score is done by Danny Elfman because it's a 90s comic book film. It fucking well has to be. And he recycles a lot from previous films and stuff like that, but it's okay. It's Danny Elfman. I love the guy. Yeah, it just seems like a mishmash, the score here of Batman 89 and Dick Tracy. But again, it's awesome. It seems that the early Mission Impossible films might have stolen from this movie as well. There's a couple of things that I noticed and went, I've seen this before. There's a scene where Darkman cable ties a helicopter to a moving vehicle that has to go into a tunnel and ultimately killing it and exploding. And a scene where a bad guy accidentally kills one of his goon friends because his mouth is taped up and he's wearing the synthetic skin that Darkman put on him, so his friend accidentally kills him. And if you've seen Mission Impossible 2, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe Tom Cruise is a fan of Darkman, who knows? And of course this film spawned 2 straight-to-VHS sequels, which I haven't seen, but I've only heard bad things. Guys, that's it. Love this film. It's awesome. It's a classic for a reason. It's a cult classic. Go see it. You can get it on YouTube and hire it right here. And of course, right down below, what is your favourite Sam Raimi film or Liam Neeson one? There's a bunch. And of course, if you made it this far into the episode, don't forget to give us a thumbs up because we love films and I assume you do as well. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe icon because we give out episodes weekly. And we'll see you back here next week for the next review. And until then, stay spooky, kids.